Great. Oh yeah, I can see myself again.
Damn it. Right, that's really annoying. I don't know why it's exported.
So where did we drop off?
They said it was all because of Kelsey, so we know.
Okay, so we didn't really miss anything essential.
Yeah. So we're talking about the overrides a little bit.
Yeah, and actually, there might be some cases where you want to customize even the default overrides. So I want to apply all of them, but skip one or two, and you can do that. Actually, the default override is not a normal function; it's a functor that
Okay.
has this.
So you're overriding the overrides?
Yes, very meta, but so now we can let's look at overrides.nix and pick something. So let's say we have this AV and we don't want to apply these. We don't want to apply these overrides, so then we just do AV equals super.AV, and now we get. Now the next overlay will be past the original
I see.
AV that poetry2nix generated instead of the overridden.
So that's the case where the override is creating a problem because I don't know, for some reason. So you want to skip that?
I haven't really encountered any case where I want to use this so far. I just figured, like, what if I don't want to?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I'm in a private repository, I don't want to have to fork poetry2nix just because it doesn't support customizing the base overlay.
Yeah. So let's say I use poetry2nix and I found a few overrides. Where should I submit them?
So the repository that you showed before, github.com, Nix community, poetry2nix, and there's a file there called override.
So in here there's overrides. Hey, I'm good, Contrin. We lost 5 minutes, he says. So I think it's okay. Yeah, so you'd submit your pull request to this, and then how does it end up in Nix packages afterwards?
In Nix packages, we have in packages development tools. There's a directory called poetry2nix, which contains an update script since right before this call.
So I guess you would have to submit a pull request to poetry2nix, and then poetry2nix makes a release, and then a release gets merged into Nix packages. But in the future we might use Flakes, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we will use Flakes, and I'm hoping that we can entirely automate the process of getting poetry2nix into Nix packages. So, like, you submit. My ideal scenario is you submit the pull request builds the CI process. Then we automatically create a pull request in Nix packages that just updates to the latest rev.
Yeah.
So I'm not intending to cut releases like with nice version numbers and everything for every single override that people add.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't make so much sense, right?
Yeah.
So master is always stable, and then you can cut a release.
So I think in my mind, releases are more about the general interface of poetry2nix, and so that's sort of what 1.0 means to me. Is not necessarily a project that builds all your Python packages that you ever could imagine. It builds enough of them, and the interfaces are stable. So how overrides work will not change. What things you pass to functions will not change. That's sort of 1.0 in my opinion.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool. So yeah, I think we've seen how to use poetry2nix. We know that it's awesome. So hopefully sorry, we have lots of data science people that use Python, right? Like they typically use Conda, and hopefully with the overrides we could replace a lot of things from Conda and other.
Yeah, and in fact, Conda is wildly problematic on Nix. So like using those two in combination is very problematic because Conda assumes a lot of system dependencies are having these exact zone names at these exact locations.
Yeah, because they ship like more like a system image than a package. They do have a package manager, but they also have like a base system with all the scientific libraries pre-packaged.
But also their package manager assumes you have a lot of libraries available. So let's say you want to use IPython with the Qt stuff, then it will just plain fail if you don't have all the xlibs available and stuff. So let's say you want to use it from a Nix shell, and suddenly you have a list this long of native xlibs.
Yeah. That you have to find and locate. And
yeah.
Cool. So, is there anything you wanted to show, like the parser maybe for the rules?
I don't know. It's not very interesting to look at.
There was like a feat, like to get it working. I think you spent.
It definitely was a bit of a feat. So this beautiful piece of code here is what's parsing these pet 508 expressions. So first we find expression groupings, we parse each expression, we apply binary operations, transform the expressions into some kind of structured object that we can work with.
Yeah, it reminds me, just today I've read Elko saying that Nix is not a general purpose language, but it seems like it's doing the job.
I hear a lot of people keep saying that to me, but like I refuse to listen.
Yeah, that's the evidence.
So I say why not? Why is it not a general purpose programming language?
Yeah.
We can get a lot better user experience if we just could get away from this thinking that Nix is not a general purpose programming language.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice to use.
Yeah, so it is quite painful to implement like this kind of solution compared to code generation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also worth it. Oh yeah, another thing why I think this is worth it is because things behave more like you expect. So let's open up our live demo default Nix again and just undo our override real quick. So I told you can pass the Python version. Let's say I want to build this with Python 3.5. If you did this with some of these solutions using code generation, this would result in an incorrect dependency graph because these markers, they are done at code generation time, while this happens with the Nix evaluator. So it does the correct thing even if you override like fundamental things.
Yeah. So it means you can do it at this time or later if you load the default.nix.
So let's try and build it. And just eval and should just work the exact same way, except it didn't. But
no, I think it's because the list of overrides is an empty array now. So you lost the...
Oh yeah, of course.
You lost the default.
Yeah, you are right. So let's just stick with the default.
So that shows that the defaults are useful.
The defaults are indeed very useful. So, and yeah, in this case, it could not.
Because you need a Python that's either...
I don't know. It can, So I think 3.7 is the default now. So let's try 3.8. So I mean, I have not tried this with 3.8 before. It may or may not work. I don't even know if Upstream has created, if Upstream has brought this forward. But the idea is that this should work.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it doesn't, of course, because it's a demo.
Well, you showed actually previously that the dependency resolution did work because it failed, right?
Yeah.
Which shows that you didn't just load the other dependencies, that you have a new one.
Yeah.
So, and it's useful also because not only during the project you can change the Python version, but also if you start depending on that project and you do an override to inject a different Python version, then you can also do it, right? Like, if you're far from the package, you can still override the version of Python, which I think it's really important as well, because it makes Nix more composable.
And now you can see our PyProject Tomo kicked in and said, we need 3. So let's say we need 3.6 on here. And so now we have built this with Python 3.6 instead of 3.7 and gotten a correct dependency graph for 3.6.
We see Python 3.6 in path.
Yeah, and we can run that like we normally would any other.
Should we talk about the many wheels or something like that?
Yeah, that's an interesting outcome of this project. That we added many Linux wheel support, which is like pre-built binaries from the Python package repository. We added support for those to Nix packages thanks to poetry2nix.
Mm-hmm.
So if the poetry2nix has a bit of a dynamic dispatch going on depending on the package type.
Mm-hmm.
So if the package type is a wheel, we inject all the native dependencies and run auto patch elfhook on the output. So they get patched with the correct native dependencies that provide many Linux wheels compatibility. If it's an egg, we do the correct thing for an egg. If it's a normal source thing, we run your normal setup tools. We don't have dynamic dispatch for PyProject TOML-based projects, but you can easily do that with an override yourself.
Yeah. So I think, I don't remember who said it, but the many wheels was an issue for them on the other Python2nix tools.
Yeah.
So that solves that as well. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's not completely automatic. You still so these other solutions are also going to have to implement support for it, but poetry2nix already has it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. So everything is perfect, or is there things you want to?
I'm generally happy with the interfaces and the implementations of things. I think the main area is just getting it out there, fixing bugs, having people adopt it in real. So I thought I was almost done until I got approached by some people who wanted to use it in real world big projects, and that's like when these things like many Linux wheel support came up that I've never needed personally, but there was some version of OpenCV that was only distributed as a wheel, for example.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you have this issue where you ship just the binaries, right?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like for me, like open source projects should only ship source code, but
yeah, I guess that's a side effect of Python not really knowing about native dependencies. So they resort to shipping pre-built binaries, so you don't have to assume anything about the tool chain on the target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a bit strange to distribute binaries to package managers.
Yeah. I think Python is the only one that does that. I understand where it's coming from, like they're trying to solve the because in traditional package managers you didn't have the C libraries or C dependencies available.
But I've seen similar solutions in the Node.js ecosystems as well, like where the package at build time would download random SOs from the internet.
Yeah, it's actually quite bad. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes they have the binary with the npm package. Sometimes they try to download it. Sometimes they download the source. Sometimes they ship the source with the package. There's like the C dependencies. Yeah. Alright. Looks like we're reaching the hour already.
Yeah. And I think I just want to mention that the poetry itself in Nix packages is now packaged with poetry2nix.
Aha. More meta.
Yeah.
And we reached poetry 1.0.1 at the moment.
Yes.
That's been just merged in by someone.
Someone, yeah.
Alright, thanks Adam for coming on the stream.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Is there any last words you want to say, or?
No, except that I'd love to see more people using it, and please don't hesitate to ping me about any issues you have on IRC. Or
yeah, we're on the Nix
like
community channel on IRC,
yeah.
or NixOS channel as well, right?
Or if you are feeling afraid of talking about things publicly, don't hesitate to ping me in private. Like, that's fine too.
Are you on Twitter as well?
Yes, but I'm not very active.
Okay, so more like email or...
You can reach me on Twitter, you can reach me like on IRC, but IRC is the most efficient way.
Okay, perfect. I think that's everything people need to know.
Okay. Cool. So do we have any questions from anyone before we...
No, I think people are just happy to listen.
Okay.
I should just mention that next week we're going to talk about Deriv and Nix integration. That's it for me. So have a great weekend everyone, and Adam, see you soon.
Yeah, see you.
Bye bye.